Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Malorie West, and this is our KNOE streaming show. Again, welcome in, and thank you so much for being here with me today. We are going to start off with the talk of the town, the thing that we have been watching very, very closely here at KNOE, and that is that wintry weather that we could be seeing this weekend. And it's supposed to be pretty impactful, so now is the time to go ahead and get prepared. It's always good to have something and not need it than need it and not have it. So again, this is a very good time to prepare, and our reporters spoke with some officials yesterday about how you can do just that.
Get everything that you need before the weather hits, or things that you think you might need.
A winter storm is heading to northeast Louisiana. Roger McConnell with LaSalle Parish Homeland Security says making an emergency kit for your household is crucial for your safety.
Flashlights, batteries, of course, chargers for your phones, just in case you have generator power, in case we lose power, water, canned goods, dry goods, things like that.
During winter storms, people often overlook key items.
People tend to forget about their plants, for one. They don't really forget about their pets, but plants, they forget to bring them inside or cover them or whatever. A lot of people will forget about batteries, believe it or not. And then when the power goes out, they don't have anything for a flashlight. Cell phones, a lot of people forget to charge their phones before they know it's dead. But always make sure that while we have power, make sure your phone stays charged.
With increased hazard risk, unnecessary travel should be avoided.
Well, if your next door neighbor is somewhere you can walk to, but as far as getting out and just driving around or trying to go to the store and waiting till the last minute, no, we don't suggest that people go out into the cold weather.
If you must drive, use caution and fill up your tank before the storm hits.
Thursday on your way home from work, fill up your car. That's probably the safest thing to do. Because even if you're driving and you burn a quarter tank between Thursday and Friday evening, you should still be good. But a lot of people should also keep blankets and water and things in their vehicle in case they do have to go out if there's an emergency or whatever, and then something happens to your vehicle, you get stranded. That way at least you can stay warm and stay hydrated.
In LaSalle Parish, Sophia Hosworth, KNOE 8 News.
And if you need a place to go and stay warm during this wintry weather that we're going to be seeing, don't forget that the Monroe Warming Station remains open. It's at the Liller Marbles Community Center. It has cots and meals, but you must be able to care for yourself, and pets aren't allowed. And we have several other warming stations opening across the ArkLaMiss, and you can keep up with all of that on our website, KNOE.com. Well, Ruston Public Works put out this announcement on their Facebook page today. In preparation for that incoming winter storm, they remind residents to call the 24/7 Public Works stations at 318-255-1316. Again, that number one more time is 318-255-1316 for all water or power outages, and to call 911 for any medical or health emergencies. Ruston residents are encouraged to screenshot or write down the numbers from their post before the storms hit. So be sure you know who to call for what type of situation. It's very, very important, and you can hear more on that in our 5 o'clock show later this afternoon. And another important thing about all of this wintry weather is that it is changing, and our predictions are becoming more accurate as we grow closer to the weekend, and you can keep up with all of that with our KNOE weather app. You can download that for free in our app store. We also have a lot of good advice ahead of this winter storm that you can keep up with on our website, KNOE.com. You can also keep up with it on our news app. That's the KNOE news app, and you can find that also for free in the App Store. Now, one more thing about the wintry weather. If you're planning on flying ahead of forecasted winter weather across our area over the next several days, Delta is offering flexibility to customers with existing bookings to change their travel plans with no fees. That includes passengers traveling out of the Monroe Airport. So if you would like to adjust your travel, you can visit delta.com or head to their app. Now we're going to take a turn from the wintry weather, but we'll talk more about that later in our streaming show. But in Morehouse Parish, 2 juveniles have been arrested after investigation into a homicide that took the life of a 6th grade student on West Cypress on January 15th. One juvenile faces charges of negligent homicide, possession of a stolen firearm, and possession of firearm by a juvenile. The second juvenile has charges of obstruction of justice, possession of a controlled dangerous substance with intent to distribute, 2 counts of possession of a firearm with a controlled dangerous substance, and 2 counts of possession of firearm by a juvenile. And you can stay up to date with that case as well on our website, KNOE.com. Well, in other news, out of LaSalle Parish, LaSalle Parish Schools is the first district in the state to move away from traditional assignments. After reviewing research, district leaders say homework does not significantly improve academic success. LaSalle Parish is a B-rated district. They're one of only 3 parishes where every school is at a B level or higher. The superintendent says this decision does not lower his academic expectations, but challenges teachers instead to maximize teaching time during the school day.
We want them to have a really positive feeling about school. And one of the things that research shows about homework is it can actually undermine a student's interest in learning. It can cause them to have negative feelings about school, and in some cases make school feel like a chore to them.
Optional practice is still available for families who want it. The policy will last through this school year. District leaders will monitor student performance and attendance to decide if it will be permanent. And again, you can keep up with all of those stories and more on our website, KNOE.com, and with our news app. And also, coming up tonight at 5, we do have several stories that are most up to date. We have our newscast happening at 5, 6, and 10. And one of those stories is Northeast Louisiana has one of the state's highest poverty rates and some of the worst food insecurity. But today, volunteers from Louisiana Blue Cross Blue Shield, Healthy Blue, and Entergy packed thousands of red beans and rice meals to help. It's all part of the Million Meals for MLK campaign. Our reporter, Sophia Hosworth, spoke with volunteers who say this work is deeply personal. And stay tuned again because we'll have more on that at 5 o'clock. We'll also have it again. I know I keep saying it a lot. Our website, KNOE.com. Well, that is all of the local news that I have for now. We are going to go into a quick break, but right after this, we will have a look at that forecast, which is very important again because we do have that wintry weather. Stay with me. I'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with me through that quick break. Again, my name is Malorie West, and I'm joined now with Chief Meteorologist Marcus Walter. How are you today, Marcus?
You know, I'm doing well, but it's busy, right? We're getting ready for this winter weather that's on the way, and so we want to make sure people are aware and prepared.
Absolutely, and forecasts are like shifting a little bit as we get closer to that winter weather this weekend, correct?
Yeah, one thing we've noticed, at least one of the models that we take a look at, it has been trending a little bit warmer. So that could mean more of the viewing area experiences more rain and then eventually the wintry weather. But as of now, I'm going with the worst case scenario, which it does keep us in the wintry weather through the weekend. So that's the main focus of my forecast, and we want people to, again, take it seriously, do their planning now before the weather hits.
Absolutely, and you want to be more prepared. Again, my motto is have it and not need it, then need it and not have it.
Yes.
So either way, if we see rain, sleet, snow, whatever it may be sure to stay prepared.
Yeah, and even if we don't get as much, let's say, frozen precipitation, we are still talking about cold conditions moving in once the moisture clears out. So we still will have dangerous temperatures around, and we need people to be prepared for that as well.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's take a look first at what's happening on our tower cam. Right now, we're dealing with rain showers moving across the region. That's leading to the cloud cover and the moisture that you see on the camera lens. But as we head throughout the day, we will start to dry out. But now as we switch gears and talk about the alerts that will become active this Friday, we're looking at winter storm concerns. We have a winter storm watch that will start on Friday and stay active at least through Sunday evening, and it may be extended into Monday because of the cold that'll be moving in. Now, as we take a look at the potential for ice, we showed you this for the first time yesterday evening if you were watching our 10 o'clock newscast. We're still looking at the potential for at least a ½ inch of ice, and some spots may pick up even more. Again, this will cause a lot of issues for us if this does happen. So we want you to keep your guard up and know that this is a serious threat that we're looking at this weekend. And as we show you the snowfall forecast, as of now, most of the arc limits may stay snow-free, but if you are in places like El Dorado or Crossett, you are likely to pick up anywhere from near ½ inch to more than an inch of snow. That's based on forecast now. And the farther north you go, the greater the chances are that you'll see snow. So snow is more likely across South Arkansas, maybe flurries across the rest of the arc limits as this larger storm system is clearing out. As we show you the futurecast, we see moisture trying to develop as we head toward Friday. We may deal with some sprinkles and a spotty shower or two early Friday, but the bulk of the wintry precipitation doesn't really arrive until after 9 or 10 p.m. And then as we head towards Saturday morning, we see more of that pink continuing to slide south. That's a sign that we'll be dealing with freezing precipitation, freezing rain, sleet, even grapple, another type of frozen precipitation. All of that will be likely. Then as we head into Sunday, we're still dealing with that frozen precipitation, but we will also potentially see a changeover to snow. That's what we see across South Arkansas. Some of that may spill over into North Louisiana as well. And then we start to dry out Monday, but even as we dry out, we still will be very cold, and we're looking at potentially dangerous temperatures on the way for Monday night into Tuesday morning. So the timing is still the same, Friday evening after 10 p.m. through about Tuesday. That's when we'll have the worst conditions around. Freezing rain, sleet, snow, and extreme cold, and that'll make for tough travel, and also power may be an issue for us if we get as much ice as forecast. On top of that, we want you to think about pests and plants. We'll talk more about that in a second. We want you to cover exposed piping and then review all your safety tips, especially if you're using space heaters. We want you to stay safe, and we don't want any fires being started, which is a common occurrence when we have cold air moving in. So here's a look at temperatures. The temperatures don't drop off as extreme throughout the day on Friday. Actually, I'll go back to that graphic. Temperatures don't drop off as extremely as we were showing yesterday, but again, we'll still watch temperatures, and even by 5 p.m., most of us may still be in the 40s. So as of now, most of Friday should be uneventful. It's really after 9 or 10 p.m. that we'll be watching for that wintry weather. And then take a look at temperatures by Saturday morning. All of us will be below freezing for the most part, and then that cold air continues to filter in. By Sunday morning, we'll start out in the low 20s, if not teens, and then we'll stay cold throughout the day. And then even by Monday, models have been hinting at some very cold Arctic air moving in on the backside of this. I'm still not as set in stone with this, but again, we'll watch the trends, but it is trending colder for Monday and also as we head toward Tuesday. Here's a look at the radar now. If you are planning to head out to maybe do some prep for the storm, we're dealing with rain showers, the heaviest rain well south of Interstate 20 toward the Alexandria area, and also Vicksburg getting in on a good amount of rain right now. As we talk about the forecast for tonight, we're going with the low of 48 degrees. We have showers out there now. The showers will continue to exit. Tomorrow, most of the day will be quiet. We'll have temperatures in the mid-50s with plenty of clouds, and we'll have breezy conditions as well, wind anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. And the 7-day forecast shows that this weekend is what we're most concerned with. You'll notice nighttime temperatures anywhere from the teens to mid-20s. Daytime temperatures will likely be below freezing for most of the weekend, even into early next week. So just a lot of impacts on the way because of this weather. We want you to take it very seriously, and you can plan now for what's on the way for the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you touched on this during your forecast, but making sure that we keep our pipes, our plants, our pets, and our people safe during this is the most important and definitely necessary.
Yeah, exactly. Plants, pets in particular, pets need to be taken care of in this type of weather as well as people. And we know we have a lot of farming in our community. We know people who care for animals. I'm sure they're doing their prep work now to prepare for the cold.
Absolutely. And our senior citizens and our elderly, they can be overlooked sometimes, which is unfortunate. So be sure if you have any elderly neighbors or any elderly people that you know, that you are checking in on them and making sure they have everything that they need before something like this hits as well. But while we're on this topic, there is some help needed by some shelters around our area who are looking for places for their animals to stay during this winter weather. One of those is in LaSalle Parish. The Friends of LaSalle Parish Animal Shelter posted on Facebook they need help for the upcoming cold conditions. They're trying to have dogs at the shelter in homes long enough while the storm passes. They say you must live in LaSalle Parish. If you're interested, you can visit the shelter at 417 Well Road in West Monroe between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. And they're not the only shelter asking for help in Morehouse Parish. The Humane Society is also looking for people to foster dogs during the winter storm. They say they have approximately 70 dogs that need a foster home. The Humane Society says they will provide food and give an emergency contact to anyone who fosters an animal. They say you must pick up the dogs by Friday and can return them as soon as the weather has passed. If they have power, if you are interested, you can reach out to the Morehouse Humane Society. So again, just to reiterate, we want to be sure that we're really taking care of everyone that we have in our community and everything, whether that be our plants, our pipes, especially our people.
Yes,
But
exactly.
we are going to go into a quick break. I will touch one more time on just the tips that we have on our website and things like that after the break. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with me through that quick commercial break. We did just get news into our newsroom, so this is breaking, and we are still learning more. So we have the bare bones of investigation, but according to investigator Brandon Wilcher with the Madison Parish Sheriff's Office, 2 inmates in the Madison Parish Detention Center died, and 2 others were found unconscious Tuesday evening from an apparent overdose. Investigators say all 4 were found unconscious around 7 p.m. First aid and Narcan were administered, and 2 were revived. Investigators believe all four smoked something that was brought into the prison, but they still haven't confirmed what that substance was or how it was able to get into the facility. The investigation, again, is ongoing and continuing, and we are following its developments as we learn more. But investigators did ask that we not release the inmates' identities until the investigation is complete. So again, you can stay up to date with that story on our website, KNOE.com. We will keep you updated as we learn more. Speaking of investigative pieces, we do have a pretty big one today, a potential hidden danger behind a popular home product. Man-made engineered stone countertops are everywhere in homes across America, but many of the workers who cut and grind these quartz slabs are getting sick with an incurable lung disease. Now the question is, now that we're seeing these illnesses, should the product be banned?
They're in kitchens and bathrooms all across the country, countertops cut from what's called engineered stone. Made of crushed quartz mixed with resins and polymers, they're marketed as being better than marble or granite. This is where many engineered stone slabs from manufacturers are cut and shaped, in small local shops like these around the country. But now, many of the workers in those shops are becoming deathly ill. Workers like Tyler Jordan.
Trying to take a deep breath, there's just a point where there's no more.
Who at 31 years old says sometimes he can hardly breathe.
I feel like I should be able to breathe deeper, but I can't. It's tight.
Tyler lives in Missouri now with his wife and 3 kids. But he used to work in his family's stone fabrication shop in Colorado, alongside his dad Jimmy, who runs the shop.
I liked doing that. It interested me. Looked up to my dad.
You kind of thought, my dad, that'll be me someday.
Mm-hmm, yes.
I'll run the shop.
Yes.
That is, until about 3 years ago. In spring of 2022, he started having tightness in his chest, followed by pain. Tyler says doctors first thought it might be cancer, but it was something else.
And then now, looking back, cancer would have been a better outcome.
Cancer would have been better.
Yes.
Because his diagnosis was a life-threatening, incurable disease, silicosis. Doctors told him it came from breathing in silica dust while working in his family's shop. Silica is present in natural stones like marble and granite, but studies show the amount of silica in engineered stone is often far higher, as high as 90%, much of it in tiny, nano-sized particles that can lodge deep in the lungs. Hundreds of stone workers are now being diagnosed with silicosis. State data in California alone shows as of early January, more than 480 had been diagnosed over the past 7 years. 27 of them have already died.
Those are abnormal.
Dr. Jane Fazio of the UCLA School of Medicine sees many of those workers.
The silica particles are extremely toxic to the lungs. This is silicosis.
She showed us how the lungs of a person with silicosis harden, then shrink, and over time stop expanding.
So you're not able to take in the amount of air that you really need to. So they really do become hard. They become essentially stone.
So it's as if their lungs have turned to stone.
Yes.
It sounds like they're slowly suffocating to death.
That's exactly right.
There is no cure. The only treatment for dying workers, she says, is often a risky double lung transplant. California state data shows more than 50 California workers have required transplants just in the past few years. And nationwide, a 2023 study done by Dr. Fazio and others found an estimated 100,000 stone fabricators in the U.S. are at potential risk for silicosis. But she says there's a simple solution: ban engineered stone.
The easy solution is the change the product, ban the high silica material.
But up in Minnesota, the country's largest domestic engineered stone slab manufacturer, Cambria, says she's wrong.
The ban will not solve the problem. It's not a product issue, it's a process issue.
Cambria's former president, now executive vice president, Micah Aberson, says their product isn't to blame, that the responsibility for sick workers lies instead with the fabrication shops.
Creating a safe work environment is a choice.
Aberson toured us through both Cambria's massive manufacturing facility and its fabrication shop, where he says the company has prioritized safety for 25 years, including wet cutting, using water during fabrication to keep down dust.
And in those 25 years, we haven't had a single reported case of silicosis, which suggests to me and to all of your viewers that you can absolutely cut this product safely, and we are cutting it safely.
Aberson says the shops that work on Cambria's products should be following safety regulations to protect their workers too, with tighter government enforcement.
If they can't do it safely, then they need to be shut down.
But the country of Australia doesn't agree it can be fabricated safely. In 2024, Australia banned the use of engineered stone, saying there is no scientific evidence for a safe threshold of silica in the product, and it poses an unacceptable risk to workers. And in December, some 600 occupational health doctors wrote California authorities urging a statewide ban, saying engineered stone is too toxic to fabricate and install safely, and education and enforcement alone won't curtail the escalating health emergency caused by engineered stone. The doctors pointed out there have been numerous studies, more than 100 scientific articles detailing the worldwide epidemic of silicosis caused by engineered stone.
Is it worth that risk?
The risk exists no matter what stone product one is cutting.
But that's not what the scientists say. Have you read their studies?
I have not read all of the studies, no.
So how can you dispute them if you have not read them?
I'm only suggesting that the mandate to process stone safely goes beyond engineered stone alone.
Tyler Jordan is now suing Cambria and other stone and tool manufacturers. In court filings, Cambria acknowledged Tyler's silicosis but denied responsibility, saying that it provided adequate warnings about its products. Cambria instead blamed Tyler's parents, saying they failed to provide a safe workplace for their son. Jimmy and Tina Jordan.
That's not true.
If that's not true, then why do you think they would say this?
Push blame. They don't want the blame, so they're going to put blame on us. That we had a bad shop, that we had a dusty shop, that we were putting our employees in bad positions, but that's not true.
And putting your own
Putting
child.
my own child or children at risk, and absolutely not.
Cambria and other manufacturers are now pushing a bill in Congress that would stop all worker lawsuits against manufacturers and sellers of engineered stone products, including Tyler's lawsuit.
Is Cambria acting in support of that bill?
We are.
Did Cambria help to write the bill?
There's a broad-based coalition that's pursuing this legislation in Washington.
And Cambria is part of that coalition?
That's correct.
I think it's a little bit ridiculous when a product is this dangerous to not have any repercussions about, putting it out and getting people sick or essentially killing them.
In 2024, Tyler's condition worsened. Doctors told him his exposure to silica had caused his kidneys to fail.
My kidney function was 9%.
In December, he was told he needed a transplant.
And who was the donor?
My father.
Your father?
Yes.
He saved you?
Yes.
Does it feel like that?
It does.
You donated a kidney.
I did.
To Tyler. Tyler says that you saved him. Do you feel that way?
Kind of, but at the same time, I put him in that position. Unknowingly.
And what is that like to be you and to know that?
It hurts.
He just shouldn't be sick. His whole life plan changed in a moment.
I take 2 of these.
Tyler's lung function is now at 60%. He says he can't work and feels lost.
Because that was my life plan.
Yeah, and now?
I really don't know. I don't really have a plan anymore.
We are going to go into a quick break, but stay with us because I will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Well, we are coming to an end of our KNOE streaming show today. But before I go, I do have one more story that I do want to share, and that is of a local chef here in Monroe. So local chef Corey Barr has been nominated as a Best Regional Chef by the James Beard Foundation. Monroe Mayor Friday Ellis made the announcement on his Facebook page earlier today. Mayor Ellis says, quote, "We are incredibly proud of Corey, and it has been a privilege to watch him grow as a chef, as an entrepreneur, and an ambassador for Monroe. His talent, his dedication to his craft, and his belief in the power of hospitality continue to elevate our city and show the country what Monroe has an offer." So a big congratulations to Corey Barr from KNOE. Well, that is all that I have for now. But again, before I go, I do want to reiterate some of the weather news that I talked about earlier in the show and that Chief Meteorologist talked about earlier in the show. You can keep up with that ever-changing forecast. Again, it gets more accurate as we get closer to this weekend when we're supposed to see that wintry weather on our KNOE News app. So be sure to download that in the App Store. You can also keep up with it on our website, knoe.com, and we will have those forecasts updated as we learn more and get closer to that. We also have some really good tips on how to prepare for that winter weather ahead of it on our website, knoe.com. So be sure to check that out because it is very, very important to have all of the things you need before that storm hits. So again, be sure to check out our website and our apps to be sure that you are up to date with everything that we have to offer. Well, that is all that I have for right now. I will see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Take care.